What is going on, y'all? This is Pay Me in Dividends. Today is July 2nd, 2025. Welcome back to the channel. If you're new to the channel, I talk about ways to create income, passive income through the stock market using dividend ETFs. All right, so MSTY from yieldmax, MSTY, has announced their dividend for the month of July, and it's actually higher than I anticipated. It's $1.23 per share, which works out to around 77% annualized yield. Now, just keep in mind that tomorrow, July 3rd, is the ex-dividend date, meaning that you have to purchase MSTY before that date today in order to get the payout on July 7th, which is Monday. All right, so just keep that in mind. If you're investing into these ETFs, make sure that you buy prior to the ex-dividend date if you want that dividend payout. All right, so again, $1.23 per share. I anticipated lower just because the implied volatility has gone down on MicroStrategy. You can see on marketchameleon.com the current IV, or the implied volatility for MicroStrategy, is at 50, and the 52-week average is 88. So it has gone down. So with that said, I'm actually impressed with this payout. I anticipated anywhere from like 80 cents to a dollar. So $1.23 is very impressive, and as a shareholder, I'm pretty happy about that. All right, so you guys let me know in the comments, what do you think about that? Also, keep in mind, they're doing options off of MicroStrategy, which historically is a very volatile stock because of how much Bitcoin strategy holds. And so this is how they're able to generate so much income from the option market in order to pay these really high yields. All right, now there's a couple other ETFs that you can take into consideration as well that basically employ their own strategy on MicroStrategy in order to generate option premium from the market and then pay you out a dividend. One of them is from Bitwise, and it is IMST, and it is currently paying around a 45% yield. Now, this one is a lot newer. Just keep in mind that MSTY has been out since 2024. They paid their first dividend in April of 2024. So they have been out for over a year now. And again, you'll notice that the dividend payouts, they fluctuate. It's all based on the implied volatility during that given period and how much option premium these ETF managers are able to extract from the market. All right, so if we go back over here to IMST, we can see their first payment was crazy. It was around $7 a share. I think it worked out to like 150, 140% yield at the time, which was in May. And their most recent payment, which was June 30th, just a couple days ago, was $1.87 per share. So it did decrease, but it's still paying pretty well. Now, again, this one is newer. MSTY has a lot more history behind it, so I'd rather invest in this one. But either way, you're going to get a high yield with any of these options. Another one that is very new is MSII from RecShares, and this one is a bit different, all right, because they're not really doing options on the entire portfolio. What they're doing here is exactly what the website says. All right, so half of it is uncapped upside potential, meaning that you're capturing at least half of the upside of a MicroStrategy stock itself, and then the other half of the portfolio, they're doing covered calls on MicroStrategy, and they're paying out that income on a weekly basis. This one is weekly, so just remember, MSII is growth and income, and it pays on a weekly basis, whereas IMST pays a monthly dividend, and so does MSTY. All right, so I'm not going to spend too much time on these. I've spoke about these in previous videos, but again, there's just different options that you can choose from in order to benefit off of the volatility of MicroStrategy and build up that passive income. All right, so if we go over here to X, we can see that Michael Saylor has acquired more Bitcoin. This is as of June 30th. They bought almost 5,000 more Bitcoin, 4,980 to be exact. And they now hold 597,325 Bitcoins, which is absolutely crazy. And my favorite way to track this is saylortracker.com. All right. And the cool thing about this website is it gives you a visual on how often they buy in correlation to Bitcoin's price movement. So you'll notice, they buy, Michael Saylor buys at the top, he buys at the bottom, but he pretty much dollar cost average into Bitcoin over time. And, strategy has been able to achieve, buying, acquiring almost 600,000 Bitcoin worth over $64 billion as of today. And their average cost on Bitcoin is around $71,000 a coin. And of course, Bitcoin is above 100,000 at the moment. So they're up around 50% all time. So again, saylortracker.com, you're able to track in real time the purchases of Bitcoin by Michael Saylor on Strategy's behalf. All right. So again, MSTY paid $1.23 per share, which works out to around 77% yield, and that'll be paid out on Monday, July 7th. So you guys let me know in the comments, are you invested into MSTY? Are you invested into IMST from Bitwise, MSII from RecShares, or do you have a little bit of all three? You guys let me know in the comments. Also, do you hold MSTR, the stock itself? Some people hold this stock and then they do options themselves. The thing I like about these ETFs is that the ETF managers do the options for you, and then they just wrap it in an ETF, and it takes away the learning curve of having to do the options yourself, because options really is a skill if you want to be profitable long term, and it is time consuming, really sitting down and doing the research and making sure that your shares aren't called away, but you're still generating that income. So there is a skill to it. And again, my preferred method as a lazy investor, to be quite honest, I'm a very lazy investor. I'd rather put my money into an ETF that does the work for me, and then get paid out that dividend. So you guys let me know in the comments, did you think MSTY was going to pay more or less depending on the volatility that we've had over the past month or so? You guys let me know in the comments. As always, I appreciate you stopping by the channel, and I will catch you in the next video.